Hello everyone, SVTDI here, and this is a new Let's Play of Dark Souls. I have the PC version, which is Prepare to Die, and I know, like, you make a Dark Souls 2 Let's Play before the Dark Souls 1, and does kind of make sense a lot. Doesn't actually that much matter, cause doesn't matter which game you do first. What matters is you play all of them. Let's start. Now I did play through the game once. Like I said, I just wanted to make sure I knew the game a little bit and all that, especially the lore and everything, because the lore of the game, as you know in Dark Souls 2, if you didn't play Dark Souls 1, is you don't know the lore all of a sudden. You have to read the items or watch some YouTubers, of course, and that make lore videos like Epic Name Bro, Watvidia, and Silvermont, and all those guys who make videos and listen to their thoughts, their interpretations of the lore, and try to make your own assumptions, your own thoughts, your own explanation for all the things and the curse and the world around you in Dark Souls. Now I have my own, which I'm gonna start immediately after the after the cutscenes. You know, the introduction to the game and the first cutscenes and all that. I'm really going to start my own thoughts of the lore. And if you don't agree with the lore, just remember, these are my own thoughts. Okay, these are what I take and what I think the lore is about. There might be someone who disagrees. That's okay. This is my own thoughts. Okay, let's start. First, we create a character. Female, class, knight, gift, of course, the master key. Now I could get a pendant, could be cool, but I like more the master key, simply because I don't really like to roll around that much trying to find it. There's enough. Here, I found out that pigtails have a bug. Really weird bug, but they have a bug. So, yeah, the bund's actually pretty good. And I'm gonna get black here. That's all. The name. No, cancel. Yeah, name. The name of the character is going to be Sylvanus. Nah. Some good name. There, Elvia. I think that's a good name. Anyways, let's accept and start the game.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenge the dragons. Gwyn's mighty lords hewed apart their stone skills. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath, the scales, betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers. And man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Okay, so first and foremost, welcome to the Northern Undead Asylum. Second of all, let's grab this key. Third of all, as you can notice, there are some frame rate issues. I don't know why, but the game kinda doesn't work perfectly well for me, even though I do have DS Fix. Okay, this is weird. It seems like my... Okay, this is the first time I've seen this. And I have no idea how this can happen. Apparently my start button is now a heavy attack. while my trigger, my right trigger is nothing. Anyways, let's talk about a little bit of the beginning. You heard what the women have said about the beginning, about the dragons. They were once immortal, you know, they had stone scales, and then the humans found the Lord of Souls. And then came fire, cold, light, dark, life, death, and everything began from that. And then they started fighting them, you know, Nito, the first of the dead, Witch of Izalith, and the Daughters of Chaos, Gwyn, Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And of course we have the furtive pygmy, who is so easily forgotten. That is, he is our progenitor to the world, to humans, who found the dark soul, and humans are like, humanity is the dark soul. Now, first of all, let's talk about the war and all of that. I personally think, now this is again my own opinion. This is my own opinion, nothing special to it. It's just my own opinion. My opinion is that the war and what the fuck? It's like after every hit I do a special attack, I do a strong attack. I'm just confused. As I was saying, basically the thing is, the war kinda made humans the dominant species, I guess, if you're gonna call it like that. Also, if you're wondering about the frame rate, I'm recording on monitor capture and not on game capture because apparently Dark Souls crashes if you use game capture and DSFix, and I do use DSFix, so... Look at this! Why? Why? Look at... I don't know what's going on. Anyways, I guess I'm gonna end the episode after my talk here, because this is ridiculous. Anyways, what I was trying to say is, we found out, like, the war started and all of that. We know that Nito spread miasma and disease, Witch of Izalith burned, and her daughters burned the trees, the everlasting trees, and Gwyn and his knights fired lightning spears and lightning bolts to peel off the scales. Now here's the thing why and that's how they won, and Lordran was formed and all of that. Here's what I'm gonna say, it's all a piece of bullcrap. First of all, my opinion is the dragons never died. The dragons are truly immortal. There's no stone scales, there's nothing like that. The dragons truly are immortal. Here's the thing why. In Ash Lake you find the everlasting dragon. Now he is an everlasting dragon because he is immortal. He doesn't need nothing special. He's a dragon, simple dragon. Now, and you cannot kill him because he's a true dragon. He is nothing else. He is a true dragon. Now, why do I say the dragons are alive? The probably thing is they just went off. I mean, when you destroy the land and you probably poison the eggs or something like that where the dragons are born from, because dragons somehow have to reproduce. They are everlasting, but they do spread. It's not like just like all of a sudden there are 50 of them and that's all. No, reproduce. That's what probably Nito and the Witch of Izalith did. Gwyn tried to fight the dragons, and then they just seen as their houses have been burned down, their houses have been destroyed, the nests are destroyed, they just leave. They left an egg, which that's where the everlasting dragon hatched from. Now of course there comes the question, well, what about Calamite? He is a dragon, but here's the thing. In the Valley of Drakes we see dragons, not complete dragons basically. They're kinda, the lore says they're humans that transformed into dragons, and I'm pretty sure that's kind of what happened to Calamite here. Or the Abyss taken the toll to Calamite. I'm pretty sure either Calamite is not a real dragon, he's more like a half dragon because he can die and he doesn't have stone scales, but more like he's or the Abyss is starting to eat away his immortality and his scales, and he is turned into a human. Also the dark sign. Well, first of all, Gwyn, Nito, Witch of Islip, Earth Pygmy are all humans. They're not gods, they're not some mythical beings, they're humans that found souls, and that's why they're bigger and more stronger than all normal humans. Simple fact is, Nito is probably the first of that because he is the first one to decay and become a skeleton. Because as you can see, hollows are not that easy to become skeletons. Not that easy. They kind of takes time and process to become skeleton. And probably Nito was the first human to become a skeleton. As you can see, humans are immortal, they just live. Humans are immortal just like dragons. And they lived under the trees, like they live in the trees basically. The thing is, finding the Lord Souls brought life to the humans. They were like puppets, they're like hollows without thought, without anything, but the fire, the Lord Souls probably gave them the intelligence, the want, the curse, if you want, to do things, and that's why they fought for dominance basically. But the thing is, the dark curse, the dark sign and all that, you know, the woman said the carriers of the accursed dark sign started to appear. What this means is probably not that people started to become undead because they were already undead, you know, already immortal. That's because it started to basically show who probably already died. Because then again, if you remember, Manus, sorry, he didn't die actually. He did die in a human sense, but he stayed alive. That's why when they actually started to harvest the humanity in Ulasil from his corpse, he was alive. You know, they just didn't know that. They thought he was dead, but no, he was alive. Just like any of them, when they die, they're alive again. It's no curse. It's just how we all started to come after how we've been after the Dark Soul. After the Dark Soul, after the Lord Souls and all that. Gwen, Guinevere, Gwendolyn, Havel, Sif, all of them are human. Not Sif, obviously, but Gwendolyn, Guinevere, Gwyn, all of them are humans. The firstborn, the Gwyn's firstborn, probably a human too. They're all humans, they just are heightened up. Gwyn heightened up the battle of dragons and how they killed the dragons, although probably they didn't, because there will be no everlasting dragon, because, you know, he wouldn't be everlasting if it's all possible to kill them. Probably people went to hunt the dragons after all of that. That's why there's the Dragon Slayer Ornstein, because people probably continued to hunt dragons after that, or I guess half dragons after the dragons left the world, left the Lord and all of that. Now comes the thing is, dark sign. Who put the dark side in? Probably it's a popular thing that either Gwendolyn or Gwyn put the dark sign in to bound undead to the bonfire. But here's the thing. Probably what happened was that it is true. The dark sign is not a curse, but probably like a vessel, I guess, that teleports you to the bonfire that you've been bound to. And what I think is the bonfire eats away humanity. Now, why the bonfire? You can consume humanity to become human again in, I guess, not human because you are human. Even like this, you are technically human. It's just you kind of gain the true human look if you want to. Simply because bonfires are here to feed the strength of lords. Bonfires are not there to like give you anything special. No, bonfires there to feed the strength of lords. And what is the strength of lords? It is fire. It is the Estus flask that you drink. It's fire. Nothing else. Like, look at this. Look at this. Fire. No drink. I mean, the description of the Estus flask says itself that it's a green flask filled with Estus at the bonfire. The Estus flasks are linked to the fire keepers. The dark tales also make reference. An emerald flask from the keeper's soul, she lives to protect the flame and dies to protect it further. Estus flask is basically flame. It's the bonfire flame. And for, you give away your humanity to the great lords, to fire. Fire gives you life. That's how the Estus flask works, and that's how the Estus flask generates all your damage. That's how it actually works. That's why bonfires are there, because they indirectly give the strength to lords, give the strength to Gwyn, to Izalith, and to Nito, and probably to Manus. Not to Sif. Sif is not a lord. Sif just got a shard of the Gwyn soul, and probably, but not really, to the four kings. They're not really also getting the power, because again, it's the shard. It's Gwyn, Nito, and Izalith. Those are the three, and Manus. The four lords, four primeval lords, get the power from the bonfire. That's the whole point of the bonfire. That's why all humans are bound to the bonfire, is to, when they die and come back, is to spend the humanity to be back. They don't want the humans to consume the Dark Soul, which is probably, here's the thing, Dark Souls is probably the most powerful soul of all of them, and here's why. Even after being shattered and split and given to humans, and not just, to be given to the, I guess, pygmies faction, just like, or followers, just like Gwyn did, just like Witch of Izalith did, or Nito didn't actually do that. Nito did the third thing. Never mind. Nito, we're gonna come back for Nito. Now, just like they did that, Third of Pygmy decided to give all the humans a soul. All of them, like all of them, to think, to have emotions. Dragons had emotions, don't worry about it. Dragons do have emotions. They're not like emotionless people, they have emotions. It just depends on what kind of dragons they are. For example, an immortal dragon doesn't show its emotions because it is immortal. Doesn't matter what you do to it, it's immortal. While Kalameet is actually angry. He's not like territorial. He's even territorial can be like angry, but he is angry, and that's why he is like that. That's why he attacks you, while the everlasting dragon, a true dragon, does not attack you, for he feels his immortality doesn't need emotions, basically. Another thing we have to talk about is the undead, the modern undead asylum, and the craziness and the curse. First of all, I talked about the curse. I told it's an illusion, which truly is. The dark sign, the accursed dark sign, it's not an accursed dark sign. Like every mythology, like every legend has to be cursed. It has to be some kind of cursed thing. This hero's curse is the dark sign that binds us to the bonfire. Again, bonfire gives birth to life, because it's fire basically, and fire gives birth to life, and it's linked to the Lord's souls, and that's why when you rest at the bonfire, all the enemies basically respawn, because fire gives life. That's why your Estus flask is fire, to regenerate your HP, which basically heals your damaged body. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? If you think about it, why the enemies respawn is because of the bonfire, because the bonfire is linked to the Lord's flame, to the ancient flame, and Estus flask is the part of that flame, is the part of the bonfire. Firekeepers, what's the point of the firekeepers then? If you say like, well, that's all nice and easy, then what's the point of firekeepers? Firekeepers have an endless amount of humanity. Now in game it gives you 5 humanity, which is a great deal of humanity. It's the highest amount of humanity you can gain from an item, and that's why it's like that. It has an endless amount of humanity, and that's why they're the firekeepers. They're to make sure that if humans don't give the humanity to the fire, to the soul, to the Lord's souls, then the firekeepers do. You've seen that only one firekeeper talks, and here's the reason why. Gwendolyn, after Gwyn left, and Guinevere, fuck knows what she did. She left with her husband, whatever, I don't know. Yeah, left with the Flynn, god of flame, I think. Yeah. she left with him, and Gwendolyn was kind of left alone. She kind of, you know, went to this depression thing and all that. Anyways, what Gwendolyn did, she appointed a knight, a Dark Moon Knight. I guess that's her faction basically. But she appointed a Dark Moon Knight to be the Firekeeper. Now, how did she do that? A human giving a role of a Firekeeper. Simple. Gwyn did the same thing. Aislith did the same thing probably. Or maybe it was all Gwyn. It could be all Gwyn. Simply, the bonfire, Gwendolyn took the part of the flame, or I guess took a huge amount of humanity from the bonfires and gave it to morphosize, or I guess conjure or something like that, a Firekeeper soul, and gave it to the knight. Or here's another thing, which could be more possible than the other one. She actually came to Gwendolyn. The knight says, the armor of the Firekeeper says that she's grotesque underneath, that humanity is verming from her skin. You can see, you know, that she's grotesque to look at. Probably means she went to Gwendolyn actually, and Gwendolyn appointed her as a bonfire keeper. Anastasia, she cannot talk. Quellan, or the Fair Lady, she cannot talk. Here's the thing why Firekeepers cannot talk, except one. First of all, the Firekeeper in Anne Orlando can't talk because she's on protecting. She is Gwendolyn is protecting her. Anastasia, nobody protects her. She's probably from Astora, and in Astora there's high religious, zealism and all of that, and she's probably, that's why her tongue was cut, so she cannot ever talk. How they've got the humanity inside of her, or how she is a Firekeeper and humanity is just verming inside of her. Probably. Quellan, or the Fair Lady, is a Chaos Witch. You need the Witch Ring to actually talk to her, and that also goes in hand for Gwyn. Firekeeper should not tell the secrets, and probably what also is there is, if they're linked to the fire, they kind of know more secrets about the gods than the humans, and that's why they don't want the Firekeepers to talk about it. They don't want to talk about how the gods truly are, that they're all human. And what's the last thing to talk about? The ending. I'm gonna go to greater detail to all those things. I'm just gonna make it a hasty thing. The ending. Personally, again, there's no good ending. You have an ending to link the flame, or to become Dark Lord. Simple thing is, become Dark Lord, you're gonna be like Manus. Simple as that. Your humanity is gonna transform you. Blink the flame, you are going to burn your souls, your body and your souls are gonna replenish the age of fire, and you're basically going to give power to the ancient lords' souls, basically. Here's why Frampt and Kaf are doing that. First of all, they're serpents. They're incomplete dragons, which means they are basically a level under the dragons. And when dragons ruled the earth, or I guess the place where this is taking place, I guess they ruled the earth. Let's say earth. The serpents were kind of under level. They were higher than humans, but they were a level under. So what happened was simply serpents want power. Yes, I'm pretty certain that Frampt and Kaf just want to play with humans. There's no diabolical thing behind it. They just want to play with humans, or they want the dragons to be back. Either one of those two could be possible. And final thing of all this, then I'm gonna end the episode, is the Abyss. The Abyss is a special place. It's all dark. There's no humanity in there. There's humanity in there, and everything that touches the Abyss becomes mutated, and humans show the true form. Here's the thing. My opinion, Abyss is practically how humans see the world. Why do I say that? Well, first of all, when you're born, everything is dark. There is no light. Your eyes are closed, and that's what the abyss represents. It represents the true life. Light can be deceiving, light can be a lie, but when you close your eyes you only see darkness, and there's no lies in the dark, because you cannot lie. There's no one to see you lie, there's no one to hear you lie, there's only darkness. Now of course you can say, well, people can talk in dark, can they not? Yes, but that doesn't mean that they can believe you. While in the light, when they see you, you can make yourself believable. In the dark, no, you can't. People are more trustworthy with themselves than to others. So that's why I think the abyss is actually a human world. True human world. The abyss, yes, the abyss eats everything and all that, and it's reasonable to believe that actually the abyss could be something much more worse. But here's the thing, the abyss could also be a humanity running, the dark soul being together, basically. Imagine this: the fire, the prince soul brought in the age of fire, age of light and dark, age of everything, basically the existence, age of existence. The dark soul didn't do anything. The dark souls were basically given to humans to be able to think, to feel, and everything. Imagine what can happen when the dark soul and all of its shards are together. Because Manus didn't give away the dark soul. No, he kept the biggest part for himself. Let's be honest. Just like Gwyn, just like Izalith, just like Nito, they all kept the parts together. Except, you know, Furry Pygmy gave it away. What happened was probably is when they started to touch Manus the inappropriate way, they awoken the humanity, and they awoken the dark soul, and the dark soul started to take the humanity from humans, whether they were alive or dead. That's right, the dark soul probably started to take away the humanity and put it inside Manus. What happened was Manus's humanity transformed, the darkness transformed him, the torture, everything transformed him into the being that he be know and be slay. Now I'm not going to do the DLC. Last thing, I know I said the abyss was the last thing, but this is the last thing. Nito. What did Nito do? What did Nito do? Nito did nothing. Nito did nothing with its soul. And here's how I know that. Here's how. Death was already a thing. Nito was the first to decompose to be a skeleton, which means there are more of them. He was just the first one, which means the other skeletons just make no sense. There was already miasma and disease, so it means that Nito probably brought in the baddest thing in the world. It's probably okay. He didn't do nothing with his soul. He probably brought in disease. He brought in diseases. He brought in actually the curse. When you get cursed in the game, you get half HP. That's probably what he brought in. How? Well, he's the only one who actually... There's no diseases before him. None. And all of a sudden he unleashes a miasma of death and disease. The death part ain't real. Simply because everything lives. Basically, if you have noticed, everything in Dark Souls is immortal. Nothing is dead. They're just basically humans replaced dragons. Simple as that. Anyways, I'm gonna end the episode. I'm gonna see what is going on with my controller, and I'm gonna make another episode that actually gonna be more gameplay and not just this boring lore stuff. Well, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. I really appreciate the support. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.